And this is your phone ringing. Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hi, this is John from Zillow. I have Elias Estudo on the line. He'd like to see 123 Main Street in Oakland. Can I connect you?
Yes.
Okay, here you go. Ding.
Hello.
Hi, Elias. This is Brian with eXp Realty. I'm a local agent out in Oakland. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. So I see that you inquired about 123 Main Street in Oakland. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Perfect. Well, when would you like to go see the property?
I'm available to see it tomorrow at 2 p.m. or 3 p.m.
Tomorrow at 2 p.m. or 3 p.m.?
Uh-huh.
Perfect. That sounds great. I'll go ahead and coordinate those tours for you. Were there any other properties that you're interested in?
No, not right now, but I mean, if you know of any.
Yeah. So can you tell me a little bit what interests you about the home on 123 Main Street?
We just love Maxwell Park. We love that old craftsman style, turn of the century. We've always wanted to live there.
Awesome. Yeah, I can see why you like that home then. Well, I actually have a few similar homes in mind in the area. Would you mind me scheduling tours for those as well?
Yeah, that would be great.
Awesome. Well, here's what I'll do, Elias. I will go ahead and coordinate those tours for you, and I will follow up with a text message with my direct information so that you can feel free to text or call me at any time. And I will see you this Saturday from 2 or 3, and I will also call to confirm the appointment times for you, okay?
All right, and then really quick, Ryan, do you think that house will sell over the 900 mark, or do you think it's going to be super competitive?
Well, that's actually a really great question. I'm sure you've heard that's a pretty competitive marketplace right now. But in order for me to give you the best answer, I would have to dive deep into the data and really run the comps in that neighborhood and for that home. So what I can do is do some more research, and when we meet for our appointment, then I can give you a better answer on that.
Okay.
Does that sound good?
That sounds great.
Perfect. Well, is there anything else I could do for you, Elias?
No, that will do.
Okay, awesome. Well, I hope I exceeded all of your expectations, and I just want to let you know that Zillow will be contacting you about a short survey, and I'd really appreciate it if you could share your experience with them.
Yeah, we'll do. Awesome. So I'll hear from you shortly about the availability.
Yes, I will follow up within the hour.
Okay, cool. All right, Brian. Well, I appreciate that, man. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a great day.
All right, cool. Let's cut, dude. Absolutely textbook, right? Like when we did our buyer's presentation, gentlemen, just so you know, we had a role play through his buyer's presentation, like spot on. And so the fact that you're brand new, you were able to run through that the way that you did. The great thing about it, your presentation right now is when I ask you the question, is it going to be competitive? I think your answer to that question was one of the best answers because it didn't feel like you were deflecting, but you did deflect, but you said, I'm going to make sure to give you that. It's like, it's too early for me to tell right now, but I definitely want to get that answer for you. And we'll talk more about that tomorrow when I see you. Right. So I thought that was a really, really good job. And it was one of the best ways that we've heard the survey brought up. It was literally by the script, but it didn't feel like it was scripted. It was almost like I was waiting for something else, and then cool, like, oh yeah, I could share my experience, right? So
Yeah.
man, really, really good job on that, Brian. So let's hear from Judge John.
Yeah, that was great, man. And I definitely had high expectations considering how well you did on the practice offer. But you nailed. I mean, it does kind of seem like everyone's been talking, like they've been getting better. It's like everyone knows, everyone's been coaching each other. But second everything Elias said, like the way you handled that question about the market, like acknowledging, like one thing that we is really helpful with a question like that is if you like label the question and just like, or label the feeling, and by you saying like that's a really good question, that like validates them asking that question, and so you don't need too much, and then your response to follow up with that was perfect because it would like, it satisfied their question without you deflected it, but also answered the question. But starting off with that's a really good question kind of sets the tone for like, I'm not going to have an answer because that was such a good question. Sorry, there's a car in front of me with their lights on. But and then the way you brought up the survey was great too, because we don't necessarily want people asking for a good like a good review, but the way that you set it up was perfect, because it's like, I hope you share your like, I hope I exceed your expectations. They'll send you a review. I hope you share your experience. That's implying like, I'm trying to provide good service because you can get this review. So, I mean, really, really well done all around. Like, I'm trying to think of like what critical feedback I could have. I mean, if anything, and this is just like nitpicking, like, like you could pick up kind of the excitement. Like, it's good because you sound like calm and everything. Oh, one thing that I think that you can eliminate is try to get away from asking. And I know it's counterintuitive because you want to be thorough and provide good service, but we want to try to get away from asking, is there anything else I can do for you? Or do you have any other questions? Because that can imply that like it maybe wasn't thorough. So leaving that off and then just being really clear about like, great, well, I'm going to follow up with you in the next 30 minutes. Like the next thing that I'm going to do is whatever, like just be really clear about the next steps to kind of end the call. But overall, that was fantastic. Like Elias said, pretty much textbook.
Thank you.
Kenny?
Yeah, the calls were getting better. Again, maybe you guys are chatting up, but that was probably one of my top favorite calls. It was just really short, simple, to the point. You hit all key things. You said what you were supposed to say. It's the only some improvements was at the end when you're asking for a survey. We just learned this, so this is not something we had known or like talked about more earlier. Zillow sends out the survey the next day, right? Elias, John, not same day.
24 hours.
Yeah, within 24 hours. I think we need to train people, because then like a lot of the agents have hopped on these calls, say, oh, they're sending it to you. Because then if they send to you and then if they don't see it that day, then they'll just forget it. So like,
is it like a text survey or like someone calls them?
I think it's like an email survey. You just like 5 stars, like a really short, sweet thing. But I would say like, you have a really calm demeanor, which is really good for servicing. But like Elias earlier, the previous agent said, had a better tone, so like advocating. So I was trying to like up certain levels of it with enthusiasm. Like, oh yeah, great, I'd love to show you that property. Oh yeah, hey, let me check if that time works. I'll get right back to you. And then everything else can be kind of calm. But then that's entire like a whole different training to to talk about tonnage. But overall, I think that call is really, really good.
Yeah. Dude,
here's a really weird video. I gotta talk to Karina first, but how I learned tone and everything. There's this weird video by Jordan Belfort, The Wolf of Wall Street, and he had this like 20-minute video on how to pick up girls. But then it was like using tone and stuff. But like it was about persuasion. So it wasn't like this. That's like I think our team probably has taken their class like focus on that also to learn how to use tonnage to either respond to someone, persuade them something, up tones and down tones, show where the 30. But then we're going through a playbook. But the playbook right now, everyone's kind of going through like this, but really it should be like that to really, really kill it. Like like you play football, right? You don't actually play the book like down to that line. You gotta, it's in the area. So I think we just need to up our training as a leadership team. But overall, I think that was one of the best calls.
Yeah, for sure, Brian.
Yeah, and that's the word. Yeah, that was great. The word I was looking for, I think I said excitement, but yeah, enthusiasm. Like that's one thing. Yeah. When it comes to like, if you could bring more enthusiasm, and even like stand up and move around when you're talking to the calls, just like like fist. We're gonna show this property. Like just if you can kind of get pumped up, then like it'll come through in your voice a little bit. But,
highly recommend anyone taking the call stand up, like because then
because you're moving around.
Yeah, and your voice comes out from like deep down, whereas you're excited.
Totally. I remember learning this from Tony Robbins in one of the first books I read from him. It was motion creates emotion, right? When you say Tony Robbins before he goes on stage, he has a ritual, he's jumping. That's why he gets everyone up at his events, and he's just right. Motion. Yeah.
So, I think we got to teach that into another class, like NLP, one class, and then that into another class to really get our like sales style up. Okay, we're doing script play and all that, but like no one's really teaching us that part.
Yeah, that's something overall, I want to work on, because like I actually practice standing up too, so I just walk around and I'm practicing scripting and stuff.
Yeah, but overall that's a 5-star. I mean, that's a 5-star.
Yeah, that was.